What's up, everyone? You're listening to the Simply Real podcast with your host, Jennifer Maharaj. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated for all my future podcasts. Make your way over to my YouTube page at Simply Real. Give it a subscribe.
Till I got blah. Yeah, my pops was a fiend since 16. Shooting that's his bloodstream. That's the life of a crane. Real life crane. And others know that happens.
Simply Real podcast is your dose of motivation, inspiration, upliftment, and so much more. We got a packed show coming up.
Pushing a big joint from down south. So if you're filthy stacked up, better watch your back and duck, cause these beans, they got it cracked up. Now my man from up north, now he got the law. It's solid as a rock and crazy soft. No jokes, I'm not playing.
We got a special guest coming up, Chalant Tracks. He's the founder of As We Are Music Group. Chalant is truly pushing the creative narrative of music and networking. He is doing his thing. He's got a lot of artists, dope artists under his belt. He's got a vision and he is making it happen. Stay tuned. We'll be talking to Chalant about his journey as a music producer coming up in the music industry, and we got some of his dope beats we'll be sharing also. Stay tuned, everyone. You're listening to the Simply Real podcast. Keep it locked.
I'd rather put shows instead of those hanging on my living room wall. My first joint and it went gold. I want a lamp, I want to be in the shade, plus spotlight, getting my road all night. I want to have me a fat yacht and enough land to go and plant my own cess crops. But for now it's just a big dream, cause I find myself in a place where I'm last seen. My thoughts must be relaxed, be able to maintain, cause times is changing, life is strange. The glorious days is gone and everybody's doing bad. Yo, mad lives is up for grabs. Brothers passing away, I gotta make wakes, receiving all types of calls from upstate. Yo, I can't cope with the pressure, settling for lesser. The God left lessons on my dresser, so I can bloom.
Regulators. You regulate any stealing of his property. We're damn good, too. But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep.
Regulators, mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the E, so I could get some phones. Rolling in my ride, chilling all alone.
Just hit the east side of the LBC on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. Seen a car full of girls, ain't no need to tweak. All of you search know what's up with 213.
So I hooked select on 21 and Lewis. Some brothers shooting dice, so I said, let's do this. I jumped out the ride and said, what's up? Some brothers want some heat, so I said, I'm stuck.
These girls peeping me, I'm gonna glide and swerve. These looking so hard, they straight hit the curve. Want to bigger, better things than some horny tricks. I see my homie and some suckers all in his mix.
I'm getting jacked, I'm breaking myself. I can't believe they taking Warren's wealth. They took my rings, they took my Rolex. I looked at the brother, said, damn, what's next?
They got my homie hemmed up and they all around. Can't none of them see him if they going straight down for pound. They wanna come up real quick before they start to clown. I best pull out my and lay them busters down.
They got guns to my head, I think I'm going down. I can't believe it's happening in my own town. If I had wings, I would fly, let me contemplate. I glance in the cut and I see my homie Nate.
16 in the and 1 in the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn. Now they dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G had to regulate.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Simply Healthy Global Media, your one-stop shop for natural organic vitamins, supplements, skincare, clean beauty products, motivational apparel, podcasts, books, and so much more. Check out Simply Healthy Global Media, your one-stop shop for everything motivational at simplyhealthyglobalmedia.com. That's simplyhealthyglobalmedia.com. Today's podcast is also sponsored by Anchor by Spotify. It's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Anchor has the tools to allow you to record, edit your podcast. When hosting an Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple, and so much more. Honestly, it's really everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, it's totally free. Download the Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Check it out. Thank you for joining the Simply Real podcast. It's definitely a pleasure and a privilege to have you on with me. You know, we've been connecting for a while on and off Clubhouse, and I definitely wanted to connect a little further with you because you're doing so many great things as an artist, as a dad, as a husband. You are just, I know, balancing a lot. So tell us a little bit about who Chalant Tracks is and what you got going on.
Yeah. So it is a lot. It is a lot. So I go by the name of Chalant Tracks. I'm a music producer from out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Been music producer for 10, 11, 12 years. It's definitely a big passion of mine. But I've noticed that over the years of putting, past my 10,000 hours, that I've been wanting to grow into different avenues in regards towards being a business owner, and really cultivating better skills in regards towards others, and being very interested in connecting with others, building better relationships with others too at the same time. With the music producer side of things, I do have a company by the name of As We Are Music Group, which is a music production company. Do have two artists that are under the music production company. We have Hellraiser Blazer, who's actually a really, really good guy, like a good friend. We've done a good amount of projects together. The first one I believe was actually Lyrical Miracle. Yeah. So that was actually a great album. That was a great project that he had. I definitely had fun with that project. And then he had another one that I produced on. And recently he had dropped a I'll Be Damned album, which is actually under the As We Are Music Group. So our other artist is Shay Monet, who is a singer-songwriter, brand ambassador, and model also. And she's currently like going under artist development. But she definitely had the drive to want to explore it and definitely do the creative side in regards towards singing and songwriting, because she's used to doing poetry. So that's a little bit of the As We Are Music Group. I also have As We Are Social Club, which is another company that I own. I haven't done the LLC and everything for that one yet, but I'm about to. And that one's primarily just for networking purposes and also for partnering up with other small business venues for any of their event needs in regards towards like entertainment or just networking events just in general for other business owners also at the same time, to kind of do cross promotions to help each other out, to go ahead for bigger exposures and relationship building too.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You're keeping busy. How are you managing all this? I mean, that's a lot of stuff, and it's all great stuff. I mean, you're working towards accomplishing a lot of good things, and with this company. And one of my questions for you is definitely, what made you decide to become a music producer? Was music something that you were always into, or did it just fall into your lap?
Actually, that's a great question. It actually originally stemmed from me. I used to dance. Actually, I used to dance a lot because I love music.
A dancer now? You just do that?
I was.
Out with all these surprises.
I was a dancer. Actually, there's some old videos that people can watch off of YouTube. I started off doing that. I was doing dance videos, and I would listen to like a lot of music. Like it was a great way for me to escape. And and I'm probably going to a little bit of my age, but back in like 2004 when I was in high school, I will always listen to like instrumental. So this is back then with Dipset, Joel Santana,
right.
Jay Holiday, when Ludacris was definitely hot at the time. Trey Songz was really coming out. Drake with his So Far Gone. When I was in high school during those times, though, like I well, I always listen to instrumentals a lot. I never cared about lyrics. I always listened to the instrumentals because I love how people arrange the sounds, and I love how intricate certain sounds was. And Brian Michael Cox was actually a very inspirational music producer at that time. What got me into music, to be very honest with you, when I found out that Soldier Boy was able to make simple beats on there, I was like, I can do it too. Like this, like, come on. I was like, come on.
I hear you.
So I actually got into it, and Kanye West was like another big inspiration for Pharrell and Timbaland. And yeah, it was on from there. It just became a hobby. I love the creative expression of it. I love that you can do anything and everything, and you can just experiment. You can copy. I mean, you can just create anything that is on your mind, and it could be whatever it is that you want. Like, it could be as simple as you want it to be. It could be as complicated as you want it to be. You can make it super complicated by making it sound simple. There's just so many different variations of it. So that's what actually got me into it.
That's
You know,
dope. Oh.
so shout out to Soldier Boy.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you that genre of music when you were in high school, I remember those days too. Yeah, music has definitely shifted so much and evolved. What are your thoughts about how music, the direction that it's in now? I mean, for me, the good old days of music is almost gone for me. It just seems like there's nothing good out there anymore. I mean, I'm not gonna say it like that, but it's just the way music was back in the day is definitely different from what it is today. So you being in the music industry, I'm sure you have a stronger opinion on that.
So I'll be honest with you. I actually love it. Most people they don't like it. They probably think that it's watered down. And honestly, I think even there was a phase, and I think we all can kind of like attest to it, that I think it was maybe about 2, 3, 4 years ago, where they would actually redo old songs.
Yeah,
They would sample them, and I think that's just them paying their respects, because it's just kind of like what they're doing is no different than the phase of life where our generation was. So what I mean by that, people who used to sample Sam Cooke and who used to sample Al Green, and they would make R&B songs off of that.
Right. And I'm not knocking that. I mean, all that is entertainment. It's definitely part of the music industry. And I think, that's part of the evolving way that it is. But, I just think that music has definitely shifted its focus, I guess, from how it used to be.
I think that's everything. Honestly, I think that's everything in life. Like, things has to be tested. You have to experiment. You gotta push through. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, and that was one of the reasons why I actually had a studio. I had a recording studio because I wanted to get out of making instrumentals and beats and music producing. Like, I wanted to really just record and get in touch with the streets, the people that are out there actually making these songs from scratch and recording, and allow me to build a relationship with them and understand where they're coming from. Now, there are some people who just do it for gimmick reasons. You can hear it. I can tell. Like, they just been listening to NBA YoungBoy, and all of a sudden, like, now that is the type of music that they want to make. And I'm just like, this really ain't you. But you're paying me per hour, so I'm just here to click buttons and get you out of here. Right. So that's that aspect. And then you have other artists who are. There's one in particular, and I'll put her out here. She goes by the name of Bethany Teague, and she was a contestant on The Voice. Now, she made it through the first and the second round, and I think she made it to California, but I'm not exactly sure what ended up happening. But her voice is phenomenal, and she has a story. She has a great original story, God-fearing woman, everything, drives a little Prius where she kind of almost ran me over one day, but yeah, in a Prius, man. Like, that's I just wouldn't want that in my obituary, to say, hey, we'll always remember you got ran over by a Prius. I mean, but no, yeah, for her, like, as an artist, like, it was definitely a great session working with her for about a year, and her voice was similar to Adele's. Wow. There is just Right. And there's just you're gonna find nuggets in music. Sometimes you have to go through some of the fluff and the watered down stuff and the gimmicks that people put out here because it's trendy and that's just about it. Like it's just trendy. It's good enough to be played on radio and to be played in the club and for certain settings. But then there's timeless music where you listen to this, maybe you're, with special loved ones, you're with family, or you're just taking a nice little road trip into the mountains and you're making memories. And those types of songs are the ones that will always be more remembered than the gimmick sometimes. So yeah, I think people's music has a certain place and time in life. Even if we don't like it or not, like I mean, heck yeah, there's certain music I'm just not a fan of myself, and especially with this whole crossover with country and the trap sound, which is interesting. Like
It is interesting. I gotta say, I never thought I'd be a fan of country music.
yeah,
I'm vibing to it. And I'm like a big hip hop reggae fan,
yeah,
but I'm vibing to the country. I gotta tell you.
yeah, yeah. I'm a guilty pleasure of mine is really pop rock. Um,
Yeah, that's a good one too. You're right.
Yeah, I
I'm
have.
feeling that
That's
too.
my guilty pleasure. It is pop rock, and what really bring it back home for me is when I heard MGK's ex's. What is it? My ex's best friend.
Right.
When he came out with that, I was like, "Holy crap, who is this?" And I didn't realize it was him. And it really reminded me of like Green Day, Panic at the Disco. It just reminded me of that era, and I was just like, hell yeah, dude, like this is good stuff. Like
Yeah, no, I hear you.
yeah, so and I think that's one thing I love about being a music producer is because you draw inspiration from so many different things. I remember I had a buddy of mine, a childhood best friend. He had a podcast called the Wolves Den podcast, and he needed an intro. Out of all the music that I had produced and like the beats that I made, he picked this one particular one. He was like, "Yeah, I love it." I said, "Dude, you're joking." He was like, "No, I want this." And just a quick backstory on that actual beat. It was a old 80s workout aerobic video music.
I love the 80s, so you
The
can't even say that
it
bad
was
about the
it,
80s right now.
but here's it was so cheesy though.
Oh, okay, okay,
It
okay.
was like it was the cheesiest like synthesizing sound where it's just like I'm swimming, I'm swimming, I'm swimming, I'm swimming.
I'm
Now
an 80s
backstroke,
girl,
now
so I don't
backstroke,
know.
now backstroke. Like it was
I hate
like it was literally like that type of music. And like
right.
but for some reason the cheesier it was the better, and I sampled it. And I freaked it and I made this sound, and it really did sound pretty good. Like it was almost indistinguishable from what it
Right.
originally was.
But that's the thing about music. It
Yeah,
touches everybody so differently in so many different ways, you know? And it could be just like a one beat, one sound, and that could just make somebody's day so uplifting. It just
it can.
depends. Everybody just looks at music differently. And I think for you too, even in talking to you and connecting with you, that music definitely has a great impact on you, right?
Oh, it does. It does. Like I love it. It it will probably be no different than a person that was social drink. Like for me, is music. Like you play the music, like it will change my mood just in its whole entirety. Like
Right.
it and I love that. Like there's a guy right now by the name of Hall Walker. Okay. This instrument that this man plays is impeccable. He has one that's called I can't remember how to pronounce it correctly. Kine Rock, and it's about 1 minute and about 30. Well, yeah, 1 minute 30 seconds. And I remember myself vividly. I think like 2 days ago, replaying that for at least about 10 minutes straight. Literally just sitting there replaying it 10 minutes straight off of YouTube, and I was just like, "Holy crap, man!" It's just music itself is very universal and it's great, and it speaks to you in so many different ways.
Oh yeah, it's therapy. I mean, it
Yeah,
definitely helps you to overcome stress, anxiety. I know for me, if I'm having a bad day, Oh, not even if I'm having a bad day. When I'm just working all day long, I gotta put on some music. Not only does it help me get through the day, but it keeps me focused. It honestly does. A little music motivates me, and I mean, studies show you that music is truly therapy, and it does help those who are dealing with depression or anxiety or any kind of stressful situation truly be able to reverse that and turn it around to be a little bit happier, to be a little bit more inspired and motivated. So music, the power of music is truly amazing, even for healing, for those dealing with chronic illness and disease. Music is truly healing.
It is, especially with the frequencies. You're right. You're 100% correct on there. Have you ever seen that one video of this one person in particular? I think it was a guy and a much older gentleman. I think he might have been like 90, close to 100 years old. And they played some music from back then, and it was almost like life came back into him. It was almost
Right.
like at that moment in time, he remembered something great or
Oh, man,
a
yeah.
feel good moment in time, and that's what I think for me keeps me even going to music within itself, because it's just like you just never know. You never know. Like people will probably need it. That would be no different than for you, like doing your podcasts or doing your books. Um, and having these contents actually recorded, because you never know, somebody in a moment of time will probably need this. They will probably need to hear this. They would probably need to hear that encouragement. They would need to hear somebody else's story to make them feel a little bit more better in their life, to say, okay, I'm not alone.
Right. No, it's true. No, definitely. I 100% agree. Music is one of those areas that can really uplift you in everything that you do. And for you, being a new dad, I know you had a little boy or a girl.
We had a son. Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
junior. Oh yeah.
How old?
So he will be 18 months this month.
It
But yeah,
goes by quick, Sean.
it
Enjoy
it
it while it lasts.
it does, man. And my wife had mentioned that. She said she missed back when he was little.
He's
And,
still little.
well, she missed him in the phase when he was just incapacitated, where
No, I hear you.
he
I
did
got
not
that.
he wasn't as independent as he is now. So she liked him in that phase, because now he's in the exploring phase where he wants to test, he wants to try things out, he is looking for things. Like he found one of his little yogurt snacks under the couch that's been there for like maybe a month or two, and I'm like, dude, how did you find this? Where did this come from? I'm just like, we clean up. We have a Roomba, so it automatically does a pretty good job. But I don't know. It looks like I might have to retire Roomba because she missed that one. But but
Do you play a lot of music for him too?
I do, and I try to, and it's actually what is actually pretty interesting is that when I do play some of my music that I produce, um, he gets happy. Like it's
Right.
almost like it resonates with him.
Oh yeah, most def. I could definitely see that.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. But yeah, no, he likes his music. Like he's getting into the phase now. He's trying to talk more. It's still baby talk, but he tries to talk more. But I've noticed now, like on his own, he'll be just randomly be running around the house doing his own little thing. And he'll actually start singing some of the little kid songs that he's heard, like Wheels on the Bus.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and it's actually pretty cool. Because I can hear it like kind of vividly, like even one with Blues Clues, like he will mimic some of the melodies in there. I'm just like, man, looking at his development is great. Um, it's kind of scary at times. I think that's probably the best part of being a dad is watching him grow. But I think that's probably the scary thing is watching him grow.
Oh yeah, I definitely understand that, resonate with that. Kids grow so fast, and you as a parent want to make sure that you're living up to your expectations and doing everything you possibly can to ensure that they grow the right way, that you're empowering them, you're educating them. It's a hard job being a mom and dad.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is, and I think I remember I had this on Clubhouse. I had mentioned something about this because it really, really resonated with me. And I was just like, hey, have your parents invested in you.
Right.
And it made me think about that because I was looking at my son and was just like, oh, man, I want to invest as much as possible into him. Not just the basic, not the, we feed you, clothe you, give you shelter, provide a roof over your head and all the stuff like that. No, like a lot more. In regards towards prepping you to be out in the world.
Right.
To have those basic skills of social skills, a little bit of relationship skills, financial literacy skills, and to be able to self-educate and challenge things, to be able to question this stuff, just because it's said, and you don't understand it clearly, question it. There's nothing wrong with questioning it.
Oh yeah, you got to be curious in today's world, and you got to keep learning, keep empowering, and that's what it's all about.
Oh yeah.
And he definitely has some good guidance from you. I can tell you're definitely a great, great dad, and you're going to continue to empower him. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. I want to be there as much as possible for him. What I wish I had. Yeah, like I think that a lot of men grew up without really having the mentor to be there beside them,
right,
through their life, regardless of what was going on. I don't think they've ever had the unconditional, like, real support of a mentor or a father figure that was there in their life to just guide them, and to just be there as close as to every step of the way. So that's exactly what that's my vow, especially like with my son. Like, I know there's probably gonna be days he's gonna disappoint me and all this and that, but that wouldn't stop me from still being in this life and being his father, regardless.
Right. And you know what's so inspirational about that is that you just said, you didn't have that mentorship growing up. You didn't have that father figure. But yeah, look, you're doing such amazing things. You turned out to be such an amazing person, and you got your life going. You're succeeding. You have a successful business, and now you're raising your son. So that's truly a phenomenal and inspirational story. Honestly, it's very powerful for everybody listening out there, and it's a good example of how you can truly just change the narrative of your story despite what you're handed, right?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I will say this: it wasn't easy. Okay, all right.
I'm sure it wasn't.
It wasn't easy. I have a few burns on my hand from touching the stove. I got a few knots on my forehead, from running into walls, invisible walls, and an obvious wall. When somebody said, "Hey, there's a wall," I was like, "No, it's not." Okay, cool. You was right. You're
Let's
right.
test it out.
So yeah,
let me try. You're listening to the Simply Real podcast. We are talking to my special guest today, Chalant Tracks, a music producer. He is doing some great things. As you hear, Chalant is the founder of As We Are Music Group. This is one of his dope tracks right now. Check it out. Stay locked into the Simply Real podcast. We have lots more coming up with Chalant.
place is packed. Many faces, and some I know and some know me for buying cases. Cash stack, shorty peeping, and she Puerto Rican, a half black. Puff, puff, give, I need the lead, please pass that. So I can zone, maybe shoot a jewel, and baby girl dome. It's a crazy world, let me drop you home, let's go. By the way, the name's Esco, the platinum range, make your man know we wet those. If you front, I got the tech close. To you, much respect goes, the born truth. Had to put it on you, allure you. You gotta leave, I call you, it's been real.
Boy, I can't understand it. See, I never really felt like I do when I'm around you, baby. And I just can't explain it. But I'm feeling so high, and I just can't deny it's so real. Tell me you are my love. Baby, please don't deny what you're feeling inside.
All right, keep it locked in. We got a lot more coming up with Chalant Tracks. You're listening to the Simply Real podcast.
Enjoying life. Life is experiences. That's really what it is. Embrace the experiences, embrace the differences, embrace the good times, embrace the bad times. Just embrace all of it, because it's the building block to all of us. Then honestly, they make for great stories too, and jokes and pastimes. So it does, it really does.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear that. But so what's in store for Chalant Tracks? Where can we find your stuff? Where is it all available?
Yeah, so like the greatest thing that I love is the fact that I try to keep everything so centralized and simple for people so that they don't have to go all over the place. So one of the ways that you can find me, really, you can just Google Chalant Tracks. Like literally, just put Chalant and then Tracks. Everything will pop up with everything that I've been associated to, and probably within the past 12 years of work I've done. Also, you can go ahead and just check out the website, chalanttracks.net. Again, it's pretty simple. I try not to have nothing too crazy. I just try to make it as simple as possible. Same thing for my social medias, exactly the same way. Just Chalant Tracks, and that's it.
Well, we're definitely gonna have to give our listeners a taste of your track. So I'm definitely gonna say we're gonna have some beats up in here, right?
yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm gonna definitely make sure we get some listeners to definitely hear what you got going on. And I just Googled you, and you got a lot up here. I mean, you've been in the industry for a while. I'm like, damn, there's like a whole page of just Chalant Tracks.
yeah. I put in some work. I think there's still a lot more work that I need to do. Definitely a lot more work. I think my biggest focus from here on out has been to really connect with people, just talk and get a lot better with people skills, getting to know people, and keep working from there.
Right, and building the relationships. Yeah, no, it's all about networking and building the relationships. But those artists you got, I mean, they seem to be, they have a lot going on. So is there any like upcoming shows, anything we should be looking out for from any of your artists?
That's actually a great question. So I know currently we were with Hellraiser Blazer, we were currently working on a poor tour, which was primarily us tackling small businesses that have bars in regards towards like local North Carolina beers. So that's what we're currently trying to work on right now. And as far as like with Shayna Monet, we have some records that are in the vault right now, not ready for public release yet, but just stay tuned. We're still working that out also in regards towards the marketing and media for her too, to go ahead and grow her fan base. The biggest thing is I could say for people is to just go to the chalanttracks.net where the pop-up is. I would just advise people to go ahead and put your emails in there so that whenever we do have anything new, and as far as like a new location for recording studio services too, that you'll definitely receive it first by email. And currently we're working on the SMS so that you'll receive those text messages too. And then especially like for special offers, 20% off here, 50% off there. And also with the NFTs, there was something in the works with that, where with wearables. So just stay tuned. Just stay tuned for that because
NFTs. I'm still getting
yeah,
schooled on these damn NFTs, though. Let me tell you.
yeah. Like so, like one of the things is that there will be a NFT hoodie for As We Are Music Group, and if you purchase it, it actually comes with a particular membership package. So yeah,
That
yeah,
sounds dope. Nice.
yeah.
Well, we're definitely gonna be on the lookout for that. I mean, everybody tuning in, definitely gotta go check out Chalant Tracks. He's got so much going on. We look coming up and checking out the shows and all that stuff. So we know you got a lot coming up, and we're gonna stay tuned.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I definitely appreciated this.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna definitely keep tapping in with you. And for everybody listening in, thank you for tuning into the Simply Real podcast with my guest, Chalant Tracks. Thanks for tuning in to the Simply Real podcast with my special guest, Chalant Tracks. This is right here is one of his dope tracks that I'm playing on. This is really ill. He's really got some talent. You got to check him out. Be sure to visit his website, chalanttracks.net. He is really pushing the creative narrative of music and network, as you just heard right here on the Simply Real podcast. Keep it locked in. Be sure to check me out. I'm streaming on all platforms, including iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, Anchor, and so much more. Thank you again for tuning in to the Simply Real podcast with your girl, Jennifer Maharaj. We're about to run this dope beat again.
Boy.